Hi there, I'm Paul Mitchell, leadership coach, author and founder of The Human Enterprise. I want to ask you a question. How's the relationship with your boss going? Really going? Fantastic, brilliant, marvellous. Well, I'll tell you, you're one of the lucky ones, because at some time in your management career, your relationship with your boss is going to be a little strained, even if most of the time it's great. So that's what I want to talk to you about today, upwards management, particularly the management of your boss. First thing I suggest you do is just expect less from your boss. Don't expect your boss to be the keeper of that relationship. You absolutely have to take, responsibility for that relationship. I see what I call boss bashing so often. Oh, my boss did this, my boss did that. Wouldn't you think she'd do this? Wouldn't you think we'd do that? It is a zero-sum game. So here's, once again, 3 simple strategies that will actually take the relationship to another level, or at least open up to the productive possibilities of that. 1, ask your boss, maybe go and have a coffee, a beer, a shardy, or whatever, glass of water, but put some time aside with just the two of you, where you ask your boss what really are their wants and their needs, both professionally and personally. Really get to know what's important to your boss. What expectations do they have of you? Do not assume, and do not wait till your boss comes to tell you. You take responsibility and say, because I want to know those, because one of the things I want to do is to manage you as best I can, so that you can manage me as best I can be managed. Note that no matter what the relationship, your boss is the conduit. Your boss is the connector to the rest of the business. So 1, ask your boss for their needs and their wants, both personally and professionally. Number 2, and you don't do this until you've done number 1, but number two, actually share your wants and needs. Once you've earned the right, share your wants and needs. Once again, personally and professionally. Personally, you want to grow, you want feedback, you want to be pushed. And professionally, you might want to talk about the career direction that you want to go. But again, take responsibility for articulating that, rather than complaining that my boss never asked me. Gong, thank you for playing. The third strategy is a little psychological, and here's what I want you to do. I want you to ask yourself, who does your boss remind you of? That's it. Who does your boss remind you of? Maybe they're too controlling, they're too wishy-washy, they don't seem to care enough about you, they're too aggressive, they're never looking at what you've done well, they're just complaining about what you've done poorly. What we want you to think about is this: you have your family of origin, then you may have a family of creation, and then you have your work family. What we often find again and again and again, particularly when there's a lot of emotional charge, if the issues in your family of origin have not been worked through, they'll often move into your family of creation, and then possibly into your work family. And what's your work family? Well, your boss, whether you like it or not, represents a parental figure, represents an authority figure in your life. And if you haven't worked out some of your issues with authority figures, let me tell you, they'll pop up again and again and again, and they'll often have a huge charge on them. So here's what I suggest you do. Just ask that question. Wow, who do they remind me of? And then, as it says in Frozen, if you happen to have a family of creation, and if you've got kids, you would have seen Frozen quite a few times. As it says in that film, or sings in that film, let it go, just let it go. Find in your heart a little bit of forgiveness. Not trying to be patronizing here, but just let that behavior go. Mitchell's law is, when the amount of emotion is bigger than the thing, it's never the thing. There's something else going on. So once you do that, what you'll often find is, miraculously overnight, that behavior that was annoying you, that behavior that was getting up your nose, seems to dissipate with your boss. Why? Simply because you looked at your behavior and you changed you, rather than wishing or waiting for your boss to change. There we go. 3 simple strategies. 1, ask your boss for his or her wants and needs. That earns you the right to, secondly, share your wants and needs, again, both personally and professionally. And then thirdly, ask yourself, who do they remind you of? Simple but powerful strategies that will allow you to have a much better impact in managing your boss, in managing upwards. And remember, no matter what, you may not respect the person, but please respect the role. I'm Paul Mitchell. Find the passion, develop the skills, make the numbers, and make a difference.